r/ask Reddit. What innocent item gets weird if you own too much of it? Self-portraits. Imagine going over to a friend's house only to find hundreds of pictures of themselves lined up against the walls. Hi Squidward. I call this one bold and brash. More like belongs in the trash. My girlfriend's grandfather has an ultra close-up painting of his face that I did hanging right above his bed. I made it for a painting class back in school and he took it and stuck it right there and it's been there ever since. When guests walk by they think he's insane. The best part is, I did a portrait of him and his wife for their 50th wedding anniversary which is hanging in their living room. So it looks like he's commissioned a painter to make multiple painting of him, which he hangs around his house. Cell phones. 1 completely normal, 2 maybe 1 is for work, 3 getting weird, 4+. Definitely drug dealer. Drug dealer or Pokemon Go player. Pictures of children that aren't yours. Especially if they're taped up on a wall, row on row. So the ones I have clothes pinned to strings across my darkroom are okay? Michael. Okay, so this is the disputed poster. Now, one at a time. I want you to express your feelings using I emotion language and no judging or you statements. Angela, I got this poster for Christmas, and I feel I want to see it every day. It makes me feel like the babies are the true artists, and God has a really cute sense of humor. Oscar, I don't like looking at it. It's creepy, and in bad taste, and it's just offensive to me. It makes me think of the horrible, frigid stage mothers who force the babies into it. It's kitsch. It's the opposite of art. It destroys art. It destroys souls. This is so much more offensive to me than hardcore porno. I'm talking about the Michael. Okay. Stop. Let's see if we can just brainstorm and find some creative alternatives that are win-win. Pam, win. Michael, yes, thank you. Pam, how about Angela makes the poster into a t-shirt, which Oscar wears. That way, he can never see it and whenever she looks at Oscar, she can see it. Win-win-win. There's a quest in Morrowind where you have to kill some rats in a lady's house. As you go in she remarks, "Oh, I hope they didn't get into my good pillows." Then as you're traversing this lady's house, you find she has tons and tons of pillows, not even on furniture. She has them on shelves and in chests and shit. She has piles of them just laying around. She's clearly not keeping them because they're comfortable. Beach is just obsessed with pillows. So pillows. You can even run across a shipwreck full of pillows with a shipping invoice indicating that all the pillows were going to be delivered to her. Wow, I found that boat and never realized the relation. And I think you meet her sister or some other relation in Oblivion. Except this time some cougars are killing her pet rats. I've played Morrowind for years. Replaying it this year I happened across a shipwreck that was filled with pillows. It turns out that lady had ordered more pillows and the shipment was lost. They were really dedicated to fleshing out the pillow lady. Pictures of a specific person. But, I really love that random guy that rides on the subway and doesn't know I exist. I'd like to see a rom-com where they're both obsessively stalking each other without them realizing the other is stalking them. It ends with them talking to each other for the first time. And then they both think the other is too creepy. And then one day, they both see each other looking through a telescope from across their apartments. And then they are like, oh my god, he's into astronomy and I have a telescope. And then they both start talking to each other about astronomy and faking interest while they increasingly spend time studying astronomy so they know what the duck they are talking about. And then bam, they start dating and turn from stalkers into actual lovers. You saved. My girlfriend bought a new house and went shopping when she moved in. She bought a bunch of picture frames to decorate and kept meaning to put pictures in them. I kept telling her to do it or I would have to take matters into my own hands. Nick Cage. All of them. A year later, 3 of them still have him in them. Fantastic. Assuming your parent. Baby teeth. My mom kept the first baby tooth my brother and I lost, so she just has 2 teeth in a pouch. 20 baby teeth per child means if she kept them all she'd just have a pouch in her dresser with 40 baby teeth. She really needs to string those up on a necklace. Maybe she just killed a lot of babies though. But the 15 dragon dildos came in a set. Dragon dildos are giving me the strangest mental image right now. My mother has an obsession with anything green. Has had a lime green Ford Fiesta with the license plate reading Kermit and has 100s of Kermit the Frog items. Constantly purchasing anything green and has colored her hair green. This all started when I was 11 and painted my room lime green to rebel against her. She loved it and soon painted the master room to match. Edit. I used to work as a dog walker and saved up money to paint my room. When my mom left for a work trip, she had pre-okayed with my dad to help paint my room either a lavender and white color scheme or a blue and grey room. My mom used to be a Nazi and my dad the slack one, so when we went to go buy paint I immediately wanted lime green and lemon yellow. I know, god awful. I don't remember why 11-year-old me wanted to rebel. My father didn't see a problem with switching colors or think he would get in shit if it wasn't pre-approved by my mother. So we spent that week painting 3 walls green and 1 wall yellow. As well, he helped me paint the base and roof trimming to paint it the opposing color. Green walls had yellow trim. Yellow wall had green trim, including around the door frames. Let me tell you, my dad loved the bright colors so much he painted our 2-car garage the same day with those colors. Let me tell you, when my mom came home she went batshit crazy. I thought I was going to die. My dad was in the doghouse for a whole week too. But my mom went along with it and started making me blankets, pillows and painted my furniture green and yellow. After this she decided with the leftover paint they were going to paint the master bedroom green. I got sick of it very quick and begged for it to be changed, but I wasn't allowed. I had to live with this terrible mess I made. Later that year we had to move provinces, and when my parents traded in their cars my mom went with the lime green Ford Fiesta. My father bought her Kermit seat covers because her friends said the car reminded them of Kermit the Frog. After about 6 months my mom got the license plate Kermit, and yes, spelled wrong because Kermit was already taken. From then on out, everyone in our family bought my mom Kermit the Frog stuff whenever they saw it, and my mom keeps it in her china cabinet and around the house. The green hair came about because she's always had short hair and she bleached it to white and then put blue in it. Soon enough she tried to bleach the blue out and it became green and she loved it. Crazy hair stuck around for about 2 years, but now it's brown. Also, we are in Canada and no, none of the tagged ladies are my mother, but she is probably just as crazy and lovable as all of them. If I can find pictures from my childhood I will link pictures. My mother has had many other obsessions and I believe she has some sort of addiction problem. Cow addiction. 1995 painted our kitchen including fridge and cow spots. Wine. 1998 collected fine wine for many years. Lottery. 2000 constantly purchased lottery tickets. Beads. 2001 beading obsession, making keychains and other bracelets and things. Cats. My whole life she has owned 4+ cats at a time. Either Persians on Siamese. Baking. 2008 my mom is a licensed chef but began loving baking almost daily, including bread, cakes and cookies. Green Kermit. 2011 explained above. Pugs. 2012 we have had 10 pugs, along with other dogs, but have now all been given away or they have passed. Nylon bracelets. 2014 making paracord nylon bracelets, dog collars and other things with it. Coloring books. 2016 yes, those ones you see at Walmart. She literally has every one. Her obsessions right now. Bulldogs. She has 5. 1 English, 2 French, 1 half and half, 1 Old English Bulldog. Fish. She literally has a room of betta fish and her house has multiple other fish tanks. Plants. Another room in their house is dedicated to plants. And she has a couple gardens outside and a greenhouse. She has also pawned 14 plants off to me, which most I have killed. Too long didn't read. My mom is easily addicted to things and I just realized it. Should I put her through an intervention? Urns filled with the ashes of cremated people on your fireplace mantle. Sweet and sad story. My ex lived in a house which had rooms rented out to lots of people for over about 35-40 years. In the dining room by the kitchen was a ton of small little urns and containers. Apparently they were all filled with ashes from previous tenants, LGBT+ people, who died of HIV or suicide and their families didn't take them back. There was at least a dozen of these and the landlady said she kept them because no matter what, she promised those people always had a home there. Damn dude. That really is sad. More of a beautiful gesture emo. Human hair. And basically the only socially acceptable place to keep it is on your own head. So that's why you work at a hair salon. VHS copies of Speed. Pseudoephedrine. I'm just sick all the time, I swear. cats, up to 3 equals okay. 5 equals haha you're crazy. More than 5 equals you're crazy. Had a family friend who had 8 cats, and it was hilarious how she ended up there. Initially had 2 cats. Okay, normal. One of those 2 cats gets out and vanishes. Sad. So we're down to 1 cat. She and her husband divorce. She takes her kids to the Humane Society to get a dog because her ex was allergic and she wanted a dog. Somehow, each of her 3 children picks a different cat that they have to have. Immense guilt over the divorce meant she went home with 3 cats, to a total of 4. A few years later, a stray is waiting around outside her house constantly, and she has to keep trying to make sure the cat doesn't get in the house because she's worried it will fight with her other cats. One day, she's coming home with groceries. Doesn't see the cat because grocery bags. Opens the door. The cat runs in, directly to the litter box, and uses it. She just sighs. I guess you live here now. 5 cats. Her daughter goes to Denny's to hang out with friends and finds 2 kittens in a cardboard box near the dumpster in the parking lot. She keeps an eye out to check on them, and after no mom cat appears for a few hours, she puts them both in her car and drives home, then sneaks them into her bedroom. She doesn't tell her mom about the kittens, and just cares for them in her room with a litter box and bringing cat food in for them. Her mom only finds out when she goes into her daughter's room to put her mail on her desk, and the kittens are playing in the middle of her bed. There was a lot of arguing, but 7 cats. A few months after this, she gets a phone call. A woman who lived down the street from had died, and her daughter took her 3 cats to the vet. When the vet was examining them, one of them was one of the original cats that had gone missing 5 years ago. The daughter mentioned her mother was notorious for stealing pets and didn't want to keep the cat anyway, so it came home, and thus we are at 8 cats. Vaseline. Time to stock up, boys. Cough syrup. Go to mix Sprite with it to be like your favorite rapper. Cardboard cutouts. It's okay if you have 1 or 2 as a decoration, but when you have like 50 of them all in a room it's pretty weird, especially if you talk to them. Extra points if they are different cutouts of the same person. No. Cutouts of different people with the same person's face taped to them. Just imagine a room full of random cardboard cutout people all with Nicolas Cage's face. You could set up an RPG in your own house with the cutouts as NPCs. They could have recorded dialogue and everything. Duct tape. Props if they have a dark, dingy basement or an Irish pub. Do you guys not carry your tools around in your car? You know, duct tape, zip ties and gloves. I buy non-food things in 3. 1 to use, 1 as a backup and 1 to look at. And here you'll see my display dildo. I have 2 just like it. It's called a backup because it goes up the back. This is my shelf Xbox. It looks pretty. This is my playing Xbox. It gets used. And here in the closet is my backup Xbox. Furbies, then and especially now. I think the normal rate of the amount of human ears people have is 2. Any more than that then it gets concerning. Scalps and other body parts go along with this theme as well. Edit. Apparently, most humans have less than 2 ears and less of what I perceived as what a human should have. I knew a guy who had that mental disorder that makes you think that parts of your body don't belong there. He felt like his left arm below the elbow shouldn't have been there, and he dipped his toes in the waters of amputation by chopping off a couple fingers with garden shears. He preserved them somehow, I think salt, and gave them to his girlfriend who was weirdly fine with the gift. So she wound up owning too many fingers while he owned not enough fingers. It's kinda sweet now cause he dead and she's got something to remember him by. But she still has 20% too many fingers. What the duck did I just read? Cutlery. This is more of a personal gripe because my parents decide to buy 3-4 completely different sets of cutlery with all different styles. It gets super weird when you take a look in the drawer for a knife to butter a slice of bread and find some weirdly decorated clown knives mixed in with other multicolored knives each with their own blade style. The rest of my family does the same and I get weirded out when eating because everyone else is wielding some sort of pride themed utensil. If I went into someone's drawer and found a ducking clown knife, I would scream and never return. Holy water. When the vampire apocalypse starts, don't come crying to me for holy water. Hater. Maybe just stop inviting vampires in. Air freshener 1 2 you got one and maybe another for backup. 3 4 take your trash out more often. 5 6 you're dirty but try to hide it. 7 28 you are hiding the smell of your meth lab. Or trying. What about more than 28? Gerbils. Wait, I have 3 and I love watching them sleep in an adorable little gerbil pile. I wonder if they argue over who will be in the middle where it's warmest, or if they take turns. Lotion. 1 bottle and you're trying to keep your hands smooth. 20 bottles and you either building a slip and slide or trying to rip your dong off. Elephants. My mum started collecting elephants a few years ago. There must be around 300-400 elephants in her house now. Big ones. Little ones. Elephants everywhere. Walking round her house makes me cringe. Now I know where I got my madness from. Since you left it ambiguous, I will assume you are referring to actual, live elephants. Reddit accounts. What? Yes, some people use multiple accounts to reply to their own comments to increase their karma. Sometimes they forget to log in the other one and then get caught. I once commented on something. Got hammered drunk that night, went on Reddit, saw a comment that pissed me off, said some fighting words, then woke up the next day and realized I criticized my own comment. Whoops. Then people claimed I had multiple accounts. Nope, was just drunk off my ass. Pictures of the same person. This weird mother ducker for example. His comment signature has changed now. Apparently he's now obsessed with Ariana Grande instead of Katy Perry and only has about 500 gigabytes of pictures and video of her. But it used to be this. That says 1.419 terabytes. With a T, as in terabytes. 2 insane level collections of pictures just of celebrities he thinks are hot. And the switch to Ariana is pretty recent. I checked him out just a few months ago and he was still worshipping Katy Perry then. So 500 gigs in just a couple months is pretty impressive. This is the dark side of r/data hoarder. Children. What's the Jim Gaffigan quote? After 3 people just look at it like a new lifestyle. Well, that's a way to go. Notebooks. There's a YouTube video of some dude's house. Human being 151 is his name, where a big room and closet is filled with thousands and thousands of notebooks, which have all been filled out with ramblings of how awesome he thinks P. Diddy is. Dude is ducking insane. Any innocent item. By definition, owning too much of an item is too much. Condiment packets from restaurants. I went over to a Mormon friend's house and his family had portraits of white Jesus everywhere. Blonde hair. Blue eyes. Aryan Jesus. Weird. Stuffed animals. First you buy plush stuffed octopus because you think it's cute. Then you buy a plush squid because it goes with the octopus. Then people start giving you plush squid and octopus. I saw this and thought of you. Yep, I have like 50 now. They have taken over my house. According to my ex-girlfriend, her hair. Apparently she can leave as much of it in the shower as she wants. But as soon as I cut off a few locks in her sleep and glue it to the pillow version of her that I made and hide in the basement closet at her parents' house, suddenly I'm the weird one. PFF. Yeah right. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.